Her suitcase was already by the door when I came home. A silent declaration. The kind that doesn't require conversation, because the decision has already been carved into stone. She stood there, arms crossed, eyes locked on me with something colder than anger. It was contempt. "You didn't want to open our marriage," she said, her voice flat, rehearsed. "So I'm taking the kids and moving in with my new lover." My daughter's voice cut through like a blade. "We don't need you anymore. My new daddy promised to buy me a car for my 15th birthday, and we're moving to his Beverly Hills mansion." The house fell quiet after that. My son wouldn't look at me. My wife did. Long enough to let me see the victory in her eyes. I didn't speak. I couldn't. Not yet. But in that silence, something inside me didn't break. It froze. That night I stared at the ceiling while they slept in the next room, bags packed, dreams sold. And I thought of one thing only. Truth has a way of bleeding through lies. They had no idea. That night would be their undoing. It wasn't sudden. I had seen the signs. Whispers on the phone that ended the second I walked in. Smiles she no longer saved for me. My daughter's sudden disdain. Rehearsed words borrowed from someone else's mouth. I told myself it was temporary. Stress, marriage fatigue, teenage rebellion. But the human heart knows when it has been replaced. What unsettled me most wasn't her betrayal. It was their eagerness to erase me, as though my years of sacrifice, of silent labor to keep this family intact, could be swapped for a mansion and a promised car. A child doesn't grow that cold overnight. Someone had been working on her, whispering poison into her ear, making her believe I was unnecessary, disposable. That word echoed in me, disposable. They believed I would shatter, that I would scream, beg, threaten. But I didn't. Instead, I looked closer. Their carelessness left trails. Texts left open on screens. Receipts crumpled in trash bins. Laughter I overheard when they thought I was asleep. And beneath it all, a question whispered inside me, what if the children weren't mine to begin with? I began collecting, quietly, without suspicion. Phone records first. She thought deleting messages erased them. But deletion doesn't wipe a trail. The service provider keeps everything. I read their exchanges, explicit, shameless. Her calling him husband, him calling her children ours. I didn't react. I printed them, filed them away. Next, DNA. I pretended it was for a routine health check, a father's paranoia. Swabbed their cheeks while they laughed, unaware. Sent the samples off. Days passed. At work, I was calm. At home, colder than marble. They mistook it for defeat. She started flaunting her calls in front of me. He even left a voicemail once. "Don't worry, babe. Soon he'll be out of the picture." They underestimated me. They always had. The kids grew colder, my daughter especially. She threw the word dad at me like it was an insult. My son, quieter, but drifting away all the same. I studied them the way a surgeon studies before cutting, waiting for the exact moment, the precise incision. When the envelope arrived, I didn't open it right away. I let it sit on my desk, heavy with inevitability. I already knew. But knowing and proving are two different things. That night, while they were packing their last bags, I opened it. 2 lines. Cold. Clinical. Probability of paternity, 0%. Neither child was mine. My hand didn't tremble. My chest didn't tighten. Instead, something uncoiled inside me, a long, slow release. She entered the room minutes later, saw the papers in my hand, stopped. "What's that?" she asked, too quickly. I laid the envelope on the table between us, didn't speak, just looked at her. Her face shifted, anger first, then panic, then silence. She reached for words. I cut them off with one sentence. "You've been raising another man's children in my house." The air between us turned into glass, sharp and breakable. Her lips moved, excuses forming, but no sound came. My daughter appeared in the doorway, saw her mother's face, saw the papers, saw me sitting too calmly. "Go to bed," I said. My voice didn't rise. That frightened her more than if it had. They left me alone with her, alone with the truth. She tried. God, she tried. "They're still your kids." "They're his," I corrected. She cried then, for the first time in years, real tears. Not for me, but for the collapse of her constructed life. I didn't shout, didn't rage. Instead, I slid a folder across the table. Bank statements, legal papers, custody documents already prepared. Her eyes widened. "You knew?" "I knew enough," I said, "but I wanted proof." She realized then the house, the accounts, the stability she thought she was ripping from me, it was already gone, tied up, locked away. She was leaving with nothing but the clothes in her bag, and him. I stood, looked down at her. "Your lover can buy cars, he can buy mansions, but he can't buy history, and he won't erase mine." Her mouth opened, but I was already walking away. They left before sunrise, suitcases dragging across the floor like chains. The house was quiet again, empty, but not in the way they intended. For the first time I felt weightless. The burden of deception lifted, not by reconciliation, but by revelation. I didn't lose a family that night. I lost an illusion. They wanted me to beg, to crumble, to chase. Instead, I closed the door behind them and felt nothing. Some truths don't shatter you, they free you. And in that silence, I realized they were the ones dispossessed, not me. Because you can abandon a man, but you cannot take from him what he has already chosen to let die. Final line: I wasn't left behind, I was finally left alone.